Good morning, Manitoba. I'm Larry McIntosh, and I'll be your host for the next hour every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peak of the Market is on Twitter. Please follow us at Peak of the Market for recipes and Food and Friends guest updates. We have over 220,000 Twitter followers, and we'd love to have you follow us too. Again, we're at Peak of the Market, or you can follow me at Larry McIntosh. My guest this morning is Lisa Dziedzic, Director of Marketing and Communications for the Children's Museum. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Larry. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, pleasure. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
It's great. It's wonderful. Wonderful to see you again.
It's great to have you. So it's summertime now, the Children's Museum at the Forks. Anything happening during the summer?
We don't do too much, actually. It's a really slow thing. No, totally kidding. Our summer's pretty crazy. We besides all of the tourist traffic that we see at the Forks regularly, we have all sorts of events and programs that we run throughout the summer long. We offer a special day camp that runs every day of the week. We're hosting right now our big temporary exhibition is called Hands on Harley Davidson.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's very cool. It's something new and different that's around only for the summertime.
So is that like a traveling exhibit? Is that what you would call that? Or
Yeah, that's exactly it. We bring them in maybe once, sometimes twice a year. We get special exhibitions in, and this one's big. It's licensed, like I said, with Harley Davidson on board. We've got some local sponsors who are fabulous to us, and it's very cool. The kids are loving it.
So my assumption is the kids have been out of school for a few weeks now. Some are going on vacation. Some have cottages. Some are still in the city and want to do something. So Children's Museum is a good option.
Yeah, absolutely. As I was saying, I mean, with the tourist traffic that we see, we also see tons of regular visitors from the city as well. People that are looking to beat the heat, come inside, get a bit of air conditioning. Right next door to us is the Variety Parks Canada Playground, and so lots of people do both our center and their venue also as well. And then there's all the great local tenants at the Forks Market too that people like to go and visit as well. It's a great site.
So you're busier during the summer than other parts of the year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely are, okay.
Absolutely, yeah. We do peak probably May and June for school groups.
Oh, okay.
But then throughout the rest of the year, between summer, like your July and August, and then November, December, we get pretty busy as well, too.
So what's the admission for someone to come in?
$11.
$11?
$11.
Wow.
Doesn't matter how old you are, ages 1 to 101, $11.
102 is free?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Should that
everybody
you
a
want,
deal.
You want ID, but still.
No, that's right. If anybody wants to show us their ID, for sure.
So when you come in the front doors, and I haven't been there for a long time because my daughter's quite old now, what do you see when you walk in?
Other than our shiny, happy admissions staff who are willing to help you out and get you settled in and get you booked through our bookings process. Again, I mean, it's just such a wonderful, cheerful, fun place full of enthusiasm and energy. I mean, we exist to spark kids' creative learning. So just as an adult to stand there and listen to the kids come through the space is phenomenal. I mean, the energy that the place brings is really, I don't think there's another place like it around. I really don't.
So it's been renovated over the years, and a couple of years back, is it when the last renovation happened, the big renovation?
Yeah, we had a massive $10 million renovation
That's
actually
big.
back in 2011 for us. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we're a nonprofit, so it took a lot of time to raise that money to actually build the galleries that we did. But yeah, as I said, I mean, at that point we went to 12 new galleries and totally expanded the space too and built the Welcome Center edition. So it is a big space, and there's lots for kids to do, lots for families to do on site.
Now, can people rent that out for birthday parties or for other events? Is that a possibility? Or?
Yeah, they sure can. We do facility rentals. We do lots of anniversaries. We do birthday parties like no man's business. Mm-hmm. We do weddings. I mean,
really?
little odd with the hours that we're open, but at the same time, we do tons of business meetings. We do lots of community partnerships. So we'll have special fundraisers at the museum for third-party organizations too. It's a great venue.
I think it would be cool having a wedding there. And you have a train there, as I recall, right?
We should, the big beast in the room. Yeah.
That would be a cool background for a picture, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. We have not just the weddings too, but we get lots of wedding photographers that'll come through and want to take photos in the space too. Have to be booked in advance because a lot of times you've got the camera equipment and things like that. But no, we're always happy to accommodate whenever we can.
What's your favorite exhibit there?
I love everything, but you know
You
what?
can't love everything.
No,
You have
I
to
do.
pick one.
I do. I know. If I had to pick one, I'd say Pop Mart. That's our crafting
Pop.
gallery.
Oh, okay.
Pop Mart, yeah.
So what happens there?
Kids shop for recycled products and make fun and new creative things out of it. And then we've got a display case there that we can display their art and other found objects that they put together.
Is it like scrapbooking?
Even bigger than on a bigger scale.
Bigger than scrapbooking? Okay.
Yeah, bigger scale than scrapbooking. I look at some of the stuff that the kids have created, and it's phenomenal.
And what have you created there? Come on.
Well, actually, when we opened up, we did have staff who were building special things just to put in the showcase. And it's unbelievable how weak they were in comparison to the kids' creations. The kids came in within a week. We'd moved out all of the stuff that the staff had done and put in real quality things. They just have a different way of seeing, a different outlook.
So what if your coworkers are listening to this show now? You just called their stuff not very creative, didn't you? Or?
Oh, no. It's they would agree. You know what? In a heartbeat, in comparison with what the kids create, in a heartbeat, they'd say absolutely.
So if anybody's interested in getting the hours or the admission, all that type of stuff, you have a website. What's the website?
childrensmuseum.com.
Oh, that's
an easy.
childrensmuseum.com. Perfect. We're talking with Lisa Dziedzic, Director of Marketing and Communications for the Children's Museum, and we'll be right back after we take this break for your weather update. Welcome back. I'm Larry McIntosh. I hope you've marked it on your calendars. Peak of the Market's 17th annual Family Fun Day is coming up on Thursday, August 20th, which is just over a month, hard to believe. So we hope you'll be there. There'll be a free potato pancake breakfast, free pork and a bun lunch, along with potato salad and coleslaw. There's also free pony rides, a petting zoo, popcorn, giant slide, bouncers, and a lot more. And the really neat thing about this is everything is absolutely free, with any donation to Variety, the children's charity of Manitoba. So please mark your calendar. Peak of the Market's 17th annual Family Fun Day is Thursday, August 20th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our location at 1200 King Edward Street in Winnipeg. So my coworkers and I look forward to seeing you then. We're back with Lisa Dziedzic, Director of Marketing and Communications from the Children's Museum. So the museum originally, back in the day, what was that building? Because it's been retrofitted over the years.
Many times over, yeah. The facility at the Forks is actually one that we had constructed in 1994. Prior to that, it had been an old train repair facility. And so that's actually where we got the big giant train.
It was just there. You kept it, or
that was part of it. We had some friends that worked over the tracks a little ways up, and yeah, I mean, it's really a bit of a nod at our history of the building. And again, besides being the iconic element there, it's really big. It's really big. It's really, and tough to move otherwise.
Really cool too. But anyway, so you were talking earlier about traveling exhibits, as I call it, at least hands-on Harley Davidson. But yep. You also do something at Christmas, which I think you're kind of famous for.
Yeah. We actually we host the Eaton's Fairy Tale vignettes.
Right.
We open it up mid-November and runs until beginning of January. And that's one of the old Eaton's fairy tale displays that used to be put on in the 9th floor annex at the Eaton's building downtown. When Eaton's closed, we had a number of concerned citizens in the community who sort of rallied together and helped move it to our space. And we've been putting it on every year since and displaying it. We've been doing both restoration and some curatorship of it too, to be able to maintain it. It really is a family favorite, I think, through multiple generations we're seeing now.
And it's a bit of history, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's something that we connect with.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting thing to see the grandparents and even the parents, little older than me, who remember seeing them downtown. And then when
I remember that.
Yeah, and then
is that what that was something kind of shot at me, or
I was little. I was very little, but no, it was a really neat thing to see how the kids nowadays relate to the fairy tales, because I mean, most of what they know them from would be Disney for the most part,
right? And
so to see them brought to life in front of their eyes in these old sort of nostalgic vignettes are a different way of telling the stories that they're already familiar with.
And I know our listeners are wondering, it's the middle of July, why am I asking about a Christmas display? But it's kind of, I don't know, it's a piece of history, as I said, but it's kind of, You're known for it. People enjoy it. They love taking their kids or grandkids to the exhibit.
Yeah.
I know it's a long ways away,
Yeah.
but it is kind of a neat little function to see. So
Yeah, it is. And we do a number of holiday events as well throughout the holiday season that tie in with the vignettes. We do a couple of seniors' holiday teas, very specifically catering to seniors in our community. We do spaghetti breakfast with Santa Claus. That, again, is one of those interesting events that we're known for. I mean, not many people want to do spaghetti for breakfast, but kids love it.
I do
Kids
spaghetti for
love
breakfast. Absolutely would.
Kids totally love it.
So let's get back to the summertime here.
Yeah.
Now, you have summer day camps, I read somewhere?
Yeah, we do. All of this year's day camps are related, all the themes are related back to our Hands-on Harley-Davidson exhibition right now. Basically, they're designed for kids who are entering grade 1 in the fall, up until probably grade 5, I'd say. So between 5 and 10 years old is the age range for it. And yeah, each week is a different theme. We've got some really great staff who work with the kids and do things with them all day long. We take them on field trips. They get time in the galleries. They do all sorts of arts and crafts and special programming activities that we keep them occupied in the summertime when you can't.
So is this something that's still available, or is it all sold out? Or
some of the weeks are sold out already. Best bet would be just to visit childrensmuseum.com and take a look and see what's available. There's a registration form online, or else one of our staff would be happy to talk you through it over the phone or in person.
And if the day camp's not available, you can certainly come down to the museum. Are you open every day, or?
We are every day.
Every day?
Every day until Labor Day, and then we close we do, I guess that it would be, it's called our closure week. We close for an entire week to do some heavy duty maintenance, restoration, and deep cleaning is what it is. So,
but from now to Labor Day, you're open every day.
We're open. Yep.
So after you do the cleaning, if you want to call it, for the lack of a better word, maintenance and that, are you open all days during the rest of the year?
Yep.
Okay.
The only days that we're actually closed throughout the year, besides those 4 days after Labor Day, would be Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. That's it. We're open Boxing Day. We're open New Year's Day. Any of those holidays, we're open.
So you're always available to come down.
Yep.
And the admission is only $11, as we said earlier, and all the information's at childrensmuseum.com.
Yes.
Am I right on that?
Absolutely.
Great. We're talking with Lisa Dziedzic, the Director of Marketing and Communications of the Children's Museum, and we'll be right back after we take a break for your cottage country weather. Welcome back to Food and Friends. I'm Larry McIntosh. I want to remind you that today's featured recipe of the day at peakmarket.com and in today's Winnipeg Free Press is chicken and pastry. Now, this recipe sounds great. It has lots of veggies, which is always important to me. There's onions, there's carrots, there's celery, and there's potatoes. Now, the onions aren't going to be coming off, Manitoba onions aren't going to be coming off the fields till September. Carrots will be a couple more weeks. Red potatoes are available in your store right now. Chicken and pastry is today's recipe of the day in the Winnipeg Free Press and at peakmarket.com. Now, speaking of recipes, we also have our app that you can download. It's an absolutely Peak of the Market recipes app. It's absolutely free and has over 4,000 recipes. It's available for your iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android phone and your iPad. So you can get all the recipes there. But there's really some great recipes on the Peak Recipes app. Features, I should say. There's several search options, including keywords like potatoes or chicken. You can rate recipes that you like, so you know next time by 1 to 5 carrots. You can add them to your favorites list, so you don't have to look them up every time. Any of the favorites you have, you can put in a separate section of the app. You can add ingredients to a shopping list, so you can put all what's in the recipe on a shopping list, but you also can add toothpaste or whatever else you need. It'll be right in your app on your phone. You can add notes to it like Larry's favorite or add more vegetables next time, which is my hope that you do. The Peak Recipes app is available absolutely free at all the app stores, so please download it. It doesn't cost a penny, as I said. And if you don't like it, you can always delete it off your phone or iPad, but I think you're going to like it. And if you don't want to download the app, again, we're in both the Winnipeg Free Press and our website has a new recipe 7 days a week, so please check them out. And please cook lots of veggies this summer. It's a great time of year. We'll be right back after we take this break for your news, sports, and weather. We'll be back with Lisa Dziedzic, Director of Marketing Communications from the Children's Museum. Welcome back. I'm Larry McIntosh. I wanted to give you a crop update and let you know what Manitoba-grown vegetables are available at your store right now. So if you go to the store today, there'll be Manitoba-grown kale and zucchini, but you also have red potatoes and the russet potatoes will be out there as well. But another week or so, you'll see Manitoba-grown beets, green, red, and Savoy cabbage, cauliflower, which is the big crop, and cucumbers. So again, right now it's kale, zucchini, and red potatoes. And in a week or so, depending on how the weather is, beets, green, red, and Savoy cabbage, cauliflower, and cucumbers. And every day there's a new crop coming off the fields. It's a great time of year. And remember, if it says peak of the market on the label, you're guaranteed it is grown right here in Manitoba. We're back with Lisa Dziedzic, Director of Marketing and Communications for the Children's Museum. So last time you were on the show, which is a while back, we were talking about how I can't go to the museum anymore because our kids are too old, and you have to have a kid to come into the museum. Is there any way adults can come in other than special functions or a wedding, or is there?
Yeah, absolutely. We, based on a lot of requests from the public, we actually created, it's called the Seriously Adult event series. And so we run them, right now it's about 3, maybe 4 times a year, depending on what our programming team can put together.
So I wasn't the only one asking that?
No, imagine that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hugely popular. I mean, we've been doing it this is the 2nd year now, and we've probably had over half a dozen events. And so each event is sort of a different theme. We've done trivia nights, we've done an indie night with a bunch of local bands, comedy night. We just recently had an event that was called the Friendly Feud, which the real one is trademark, so I won't say the name of what it was, but survey says you can probably guess it.
We won't say anything about a family, but go ahead.
and upcoming in the fall now, we're going to be hosting a murder mystery one.
Oh,
so
wow.
It'll be lots of fun. We get usually we sell either single tickets or by table as well, but we get lots of groups that like to come out and just have fun at the museum after dark and be able to play as adults and actually experience the space, which they wouldn't be able to otherwise.
As a nonprofit organization, that admission is part of your thing, but I also assume it's other fundraising. This would help with revenue as well as people like me that want to get in the museum that don't have kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Percentage-wise, I think we probably get about 82% of our funds are raised through earned revenue. So that's our admissions, that's our rentals, that's everything. That includes our fundraising events too. So it definitely makes a difference in terms of museum operations. It keeps your admission rates down at the front doors. And even more importantly, we have a program called the Free to Play Access Program, which allows underprivileged children who are undersupported in the community to come to the Children's Museum for free, whether it's through their schools, whether it's through a social service organization that we might be a partner with, a number of different venues. But it really does make a difference to come out to these events. So you're not only having fun, but you're playing with a purpose, and that purpose is to better your community.
And you're located right next to the Heritage, what's it called, the playground there? Sorry, what's the name of it?
Variety Parks Canada Playground.
Yes. But beyond that is the new Canadian Museum for Human Rights.
Yes.
So are you finding so far that helps admission? Is it hurt admission? Have you noticed any difference? Is there more people in the area? Or?
There's definitely more people around that I'm seeing during the daytime for sure. In terms of museum admission, their audience isn't necessarily the same overlap.
Right.
And their audience is a little bit older than ours, and I know that they're trying to get more kids through the building too. But there's not a marked impact so much on our day-to-day visitors. But again, like I said, I mean, it's great to have another partner on site. It's great to have such a big organization doing what they do in our community and helping out, again, all of the rest of the tenants on site at the Forks and being able to bring that traffic into the centers.
And I would think, and I don't know this because I have no stats to back it up, but there's going to be people that come, tourists are going to come to the city because they want to see the museum as an iconic thing that's known around the world to a large degree. But they might also spend an extra day and come to the museum or go to the Forks or who knows what they're going to do. But getting people into the city with these type of things probably helps us all. Yeah,
absolutely. It definitely wouldn't just be our Forks traffic. I mean, the number of hotels in the community, too, that are able to pick up extra visitors and school group bookings, things like that. It's great.
So a child comes in there, obviously they come in with their parents or grandparents, whatever it might be, and experience the Children's Museum. Are they learning or are they just playing? Really?
Oh, well.
Come on.
As I said before, I mean, the term play with a purpose is really what we live for. I mean, we exist to spark kids' creative learning, and we believe that kids learn through discovery learnings, through hands-on play, really. I mean, that's what makes us different than just your regular, playground, really. It's everything in there. They may not be learning, as a 2-year-old, they may not be able to read the boards or understand some of the panels that are in the exhibit areas. But as they grow in the space and as they visit again and as they start to grow up throughout the years, they'll learn more. They'll see, what they're doing with cause and effect is actually making a difference and starting to put together some of the elements that they've learned.
And a parent or a grandparent involved in that learning, helping them read and helping them discover is about working together, which we have a partnership with Sesame Street on our potato bags and that we've been working about a year with, and they're great to work with. But the interesting stat that I heard from them is the show, when people watch it on TV, 49% of the audience is adults.
Yeah.
Because they're watching with younger kids, which is very similar to what would be happening there. I guess it's learning together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we believe, again, from the museum standpoint, we believe in a 3-part learning experience. So you've got your child as one end, you've got your facility, our galleries and exhibits are another, and the third key point is the adults. So the roles that they're playing in their children's lives really make the difference.
We're speaking with Lisa Dziedzic from the Children's Museum. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. I'm Larry McIntosh. Food and Friends Radio is also on TV. Each radio show is filmed and will be posted on Mytoba.ca later today. So if you want to see the TV version of this or previous radio shows, please visit Mytoba.ca. Thanks to 680 CJOB's Nicole, who produces our show, and Riley, who operates the camera, as well as the teachers of the Broadcasting and Media Arts program at Tech-Voc High School. You can also listen to an audio podcast of Food and Friends at soundcloud.com and at the iTunes Store. So please just do a search for Food and Friends with Larry at mytoba.ca or soundcloud.com or at the iTunes Store, and all the shows will come up for your listening or viewing pleasure. Now, it's very important for me to mention that Food and Friends is only available because of 680 CJOB and its advertisers. So please make sure you tune in right here every Saturday morning at 8 or listen live at cjob.com. We're back with Lisa Dziedzic, Director of Marketing and Communications from the Children's Museum. We're just talking during the commercial break about a festival you have coming up in August. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. Running from August 11th to the 14th, we're holding the Kids Festival of the Arts. It is a week-long celebration of arts and culture, and so we like to give on each day a different theme, a different experience for the children who are visiting to see and usually participate in some various form of art, whether it's dance, whether it's visual arts, whether it's dramatic arts. We might have an improver in, all sorts of really great special guests for the lineup. Mm-hmm.
So this is August 11th to 14th, and they can come. It's not a weekly; you come every day, and there's something different happening.
Yeah, pretty much every day. We've got actually, weather permitting, of course. There's special free programming outside the museum, so you don't even have to pay to participate in the public programming. If you're just on site at the Forks, you're welcome to walk by, come for a visit.
And looking at the long-term weather forecast, it's only a month away. It's supposed to be a good week.
We'll see. Yeah, it's going to be beautiful out. It'll be wonderful. You can stop there and then go to Variety Parks Canada Playground. It would be great.
So this is happening August 11th to 14th, but of course you're open every day and there's always things happening. You were saying earlier there was, how many galleries are there?
There's 12 in total. And each of the galleries is sort of themed around different learning outcomes. So depending on what you're most interested in, whether it's literacy, whether it's numbers, whether it's physical activity, we've got a water table for kids that are interested in splashing around a little bit and seeing how various states of matter work. All sorts of things there for kids to engage in.
So I was looking on the website. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's an engine house. Is that the train?
Yeah,
that's
the
my
train.
favorite.
Yeah.
Illusion Tunnel.
Illusion Tunnel. That's our giant slide. That's one of our most popular exhibits currently.
I like the engine better still. Junction 9161.
Yep. Yeah, that's the space just before the train. There's a big digger out there. Lots of interactive elements where kids can do some construction outside of the space.
Lasagna Lookout.
That's our 5-story lasagna noodle climbing structure.
It's a lasagna noodle
It is a
climbing structure.
five kid-sized story lasagna climbing noodle structure. Yeah, yeah. There's a rigatoni roller in there that'll flip kids over. We've got an elbow macaroni tube. All sorts of fun stuff that kids can sort of be inspired by with some of the whimsical elements to the exhibit.
Mellow marsh. Is that something to do with marshmallows?
I wish. Imagine that, a giant gallery of just marshmallows. Mellow Marsh, though, is our sensory gallery. And so it plays a lot with sound and sight, a lot of touch as well. That's where there's a pin screen that probably has like 100,000 pins in it that you can sort of press yourself into and make various shapes. And just a side note, staff had to cap both ends of all of those pins, so I know how many pins are actually in that screen. It was a real test of love. That's all.
Do you find, and I hear a lot about this, about children today, they're on their iPads or computer or phones, that they don't really want to do the interactive stuff like would be at the museum. You finding that, or?
Not at all when they come into the space. You hear that, and you definitely see kids engaged and using technology outside of the space, but it's amazing how hands-on children are and how they like to experiment and how they like to be able to just be involved in the world around them, right? So whether it is through technology or whatever it is that's in front of them. I mean, we don't use a lot of technology at the museum. We have about 150,000 visitors each year through the space.
150,000,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, and so with numbers like that, it's really tough to maintain all the little hands who are touching the computer monitors and screens and things like that. I mean, it's a real challenge in the children's museum industry at all for the technology side of things to keep it working and functioning.
How long has the Children's Museum been open?
We've actually been open since 1986 is when we opened up at the Pacific Avenue location. And then in 94, we moved over to the Forks. So coming up next year, it's going to be our 30th anniversary.
So almost 30 years.
Yep.
Let's say almost 30 years.
Yep.
And I know you weren't there 30 years ago, but what's your...
I played there 30
You were there
years
30?
ago.
Okay, so what...
I played there 30 years ago.
Has things changed dramatically over the 30 years? Or is it more, it's still the basic learning and playing things?
A lot of the educational curriculums through Manitoba education have changed a bit. But overall, I mean, the learning elements where children engage in what is around them and the discovery of being around adults and being around exhibits. I mean, I think that's something that really is universal. I don't think that that's something that's changed or that you're going to see change anytime soon.
And there's probably, because it hasn't changed, and it's more, I'll say traditional, I don't know if that's the right word or not, that's probably part of the love of it too, is it's back to, not basics, that's the wrong word, but it's not technology, it's not, it's interaction, maybe is a better word.
Yeah, I'm expecting someday, we're going to have a whole throwback Thursday with a kick the can game going or something. But no, again, I mean, I think that having those elements and being able to participate in things without the use of technology is very important as well as you're growing up and learning about the world around you.
We'll be right back with Lisa Dziedzic, Director of Marketing and Communications from the Children's Museum, after we take this break. Welcome back to Food and Friends. Please join me next Saturday at 8 a.m. when my guest will be Art Alexander, Sales Manager at the Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce. Now, Art's a good friend, but he's not only working at the Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce, he also runs Instant Imprints on St. Mary's Road. So he's going to talk about the Chamber, and he's also going to talk about Instant Imprints. He's a very busy person. My guest today has been Lisa Dziedzic, Director of Marketing and Communications for the Children's Museum. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Larry.
I know it's a
pleasure.
busy time of year because lots of people visiting.
No, like I said, I mean, we love the opportunity to come and chat with you and with your listeners. Again, I mean, it's just a great opportunity for us to be able to engage and participate in our community.
And you're open every day from now to Labor Day, and $11 the admission.
That's it.
And the website one more time.
childrensmuseum.com.
Thank you for being on Food and Friends. Take care, everybody, and please don't forget to eat your veggies.